Welcome back to the Capcom Pro Tour 2021 season final. And we are going to move into North America, and it is the Midwest. The Midwest, for the first time, got their own representation in the Pro Tour online era. And of course, Mr. Hollywood himself got the business done, to be expected. Brian came through as well, the two strongest players in the area. And they're going to go head-to-head. And this feels like, you know, it's just going to be an episode of No Neutral. I don't even know if Rob is playing anymore. He's vlogging in the gym. You know, Rob is now sponsored by, like, stringer vests and protein shakes.
What about Brian? What do you call them? Starts with an I. Is he influencer? That's it. He's just one of them. He's one of them people.
Content creator.
How I qualified for the cup by accident.
There you go.
I mean, listen, these guys. I just see it as battle of the content creators, like you said.
All jokes aside, man, these guys are both incredible players still, and I feel like RobTV, he just cleared out the whole Midwest
easily.
Like, he displayed the levels,
the disparity.
The gap was enormous, you know, and for me, it's almost as enormous as his shoulders, as enormous as his back, as enormous as his biceps.
And his confidence.
The gap, nothing's as enormous as that. Let me tell you, nothing as enormous as that.
Again.
Poor Brian, is he going to be able to hold on? Is he going to be able to pull anything out? Are we going to see Boxer Karin? Are we going to see some Oro?
Do you know, I think at this point, he should probably just hit with the
Oro's going to get more clippable moments, right, for the YouTube channel. Surely.
He'll do it, man. Think
of the ad revenue.
Whoever pays
Brian.
the bills. Whoever pays the bills.
Well, I mean, it's first to 5. He's got a lot of opportunities. That's at least 10 rounds to get a great Tengu Stone combo in for that clip. Brian, I'm telling you, that's the pick, bro. Let's find out what's going to happen, though. Throw it back to the studio. It is the Midwest region, RobTV against Brian F. Over to you guys.
We're back. Thanks again to the UK folks for providing that all weekend long. My name is Ultra David, and as you can see, I have a new cast of characters up here. Missing a couple who have been up here most of the time. There's no Brian, there's no Rob, and maybe they're busy. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out shortly. We got Chris CCH, we have Shine, we have Jake Ryan up here now, and we have St. Cola as well. Let's talk about this matchup between RobTV and Brian F. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, so I think the story of this match really is all about how dominant Rob has been. I mean, he won both of the CPTs for the Midwest region, and if I'm not mistaken, both times winners finals, he beat Rob. Grand finals, he beat Rob. I mean, sorry, not beat Rob, beat Brian. Got my names reversed there. And just in extremely dominant fashion. So Rob has just been completely dominating that region. I mean, it's so hard to win both the CPT qualifiers for your region. I think the only other person that did that was Nephew over in the West Coast. Unfortunately, you know, he might have some bad things might have happened to me there, but yeah, you know, extremely impressive. And I have to say, you know, when you are that dominant over your region, it kind of just shows like, you know, you are the best player in that region. Like, really convincing. And, you know, maybe when we saw in the 5v5 that Nephew kind of destroyed Rob, that, you know, that might say something about the strengths of the, you know, the respective regions, but, you know.
Okay, can we cut his
He can't even defend himself.
He can't even,
you know what? No, Chris, you're right. You're right.
Rob, clearly the strongest in his region. That's really what I want to bring up.
What do you got, Shine?
All right. Well, I mean, it can be said a lot that, like, you know, it is a dominating fashion. It was a dominant, like, win.
For sure.
Right, as Chris said. And I think that more so than that, I think there's just a lot of stress on Brian, not just because of the win itself, but the consequences if he loses. Right? Like, this is Rob we're talking about. This is Hollywood. Yeah. Right? So, like, you know, Rob is that guy, right? He's going to talk a lot if he wins. And the odds, you know, statistically, they're in his favor, right? Like, they played a lot, even beyond their CPT region. You know, they play a lot in the online locals, NOBC. So, and normally it is Rob that takes it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes. But right now, it is heavily in Rob's favor, and the pressure is really on Brian.
Yeah, and I want to see how that pressure really comes into play, because we have seen the Oro come out a lot more from Brian now, and maybe that's that extra push that is going to push him over the edge, because, you know, maybe the character matchup experience isn't there as much, and also Brian feels good playing the character. Like, when you hit the Tango Stones, I know we made a funny joke about the clips coming out. Those combos feel really good to hit, and it can have your opponent guessing, especially with the variability of how the Tengu Stones work. I think, you know, the real implications of this match, though, is no matter who wins, they still come second to Nephew and, you know, the best coach.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's okay. You know, you become the bridesmaid no matter what.
Absolutely.
Y'all, first of all, let's correct some things. It's mid-best, okay? Do you understand? It's mid-best. You hear me? Also, I do think, oh my God, get out of here.
I don't know about that.
These West Coast people.
That's right, Chris.
First of all,
right.
y'all ain't got any good fries out here. Second of all,
Oh, no.
your players are second. But let me get to my original point. Let me get into my original point. My original point is that Rob did not prepare originally for Oro. Like, this was only like, a couple weeks before I saw he was like, dang, I gotta learn this character. And I'm so curious to see what strategy he has to come at the table because, like, there's not that many good Oro players. There's some Oro players that know some Tengu Stones. They watch Brian F's content and they're like, I get little funny combos. But when it comes to neutral, that's gonna be super important. There's a certain aspect of getting to the Tengu Stones without, having enough health or diminishing their health enough so that the match isn't a wash like that. And also, I think there's some pressure on Rob, despite the fact that he loves this kind of pressure.
Yep.
There's pressure on him to get that win. If he loses to Brian, can you imagine? Can you imagine the heat?
We're going to call him DVD TV.
Ooh.
He's not Hollywood anymore. He went straight to home video.
Oh,
Television? People still watch television?
I don't
No.
think so.
No.
He went straight to home video.
No.
Got the VHS tapes. We're going to have to go back a little bit because he's not ready for the big screen if he loses here. I'm just saying.
Chris,
That's big mean.
how do you feel if it is Oro versus presumably Karin? How do you feel about how that goes? Any idea?
Yeah, so I know Tengu Stone got brought up a lot, and of course, no matter what the matchup is, Tengu Stone is always going to come into play. That V-trigger is phenomenal. Also, Karin doesn't have a lot of health. Definitely going to be a problem for her to deal with. But when it comes to neutral, it's going to be really hard for Oro. And I know Rob has been preparing a lot for that matchup. Rob is the type of player, very analytical. He loves breaking down matchups. I think he's going to be really prepared for it. And I don't think he's going to get hit by any unexpected things from kind of an unusual character like Oro. I'm expecting to see Rob really prepared no matter whether it's Balrog or Oro.
I think it can be said that, like, if Karin doesn't really use her V-trigger, so when it comes to the Tengu Stone, she's always going to have defensive options ready that Brian has to consider anyway. So I think she wins before Tengu Stones it comes into play, and she has options for when it's available as well.
Right, like it's not as bad for her as it is for other characters.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, we of course did see in the no neutral 5v5 earlier this week when Brian did play that character. He played Oro.
Yep.
And he beat Smug. He beat Smug 3-0 in fact.
Convincing.
He did. He sure did. I don't know if it's going to be Oro or if it's going to be Boxer or what, but to help us call the action, we are going to go over to the commentators where James Chan's doing something, and there's Marine as well.
All right.
That's very nice. I like it.
Thank you.
Guys, we are here with the CPT Mid-Best with RobTV and Brian F. I am joined here with Mr. James Chen.
From the best coast.
Really? I literally said Mid-Best. We're talking about the Mid-Best, Midwest here.
We're talking, yeah, exactly. We're focusing on the Midwest here, of course, with RobTV and Brian F. And, I mean, look, we heard all the analysts talking about this. I mean, it sounds like Brian is up for an uphill battle here.
Yes, no kidding. Yeah, because I did hear that Chris and, the other analysis has said that, Brian might go with the Oro or, maybe Balrog, but we'll see what he's confident with. And, of course, RobTV playing Karin. I'm super excited because, I did play RobTV multiple times. So strong. Brian F is also strong.
But it is going to be the Oro. Let's go.
Let's go.
Brand new character here. Now, obviously, you are from the Midwest region here, so, I mean, how excited are you to see all these players here representing?
Yeah, of course. I'm very excited to see these players, repping the Midwest because, again, Midwest is definitely a big gem that you cannot miss. And, of course, Brian F starting out really strong, keeping RobTV in the corner with RobTV. Having all those utilities, like those footsies, it's so good.
Yep, and I understand why Brian F had some choice words about Karin as a character, but I mean, this is what you're seeing right here. You see these sweeps and then just running in there with the Rasenha, and yeah, look at this, Rob already feeling himself.
Yeah, and of course, having Critical Art on deck too, he is definitely up ahead against Brian F. Brian F just, throwing out footsies here, trying to keep Karin out, and you definitely want to do that.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Crush counter here. Gonna have an opportunity for a little bit of a combo extension. Nicely done. I love
Ooh, that was
combos.
unsanitary. I like that.
Look at this, into another one. He gets the stun. Now, there's going to be a ton of scaling on this. So, unless he... Oh, I'm not sure what he was
Oh, no,
trying to
I
go
think
for
he
there.
tried to do the jump cancel because I
Oh,
did play
yeah,
Brian
yeah.
F earlier today. He did the jump cancel on me, and he's like, whoa, like, I usually drop that. I can't believe it that worked. I was like, yeah, it worked on me. What did you... Come on, man.
Yeah, I know, and he can't... the practice this morning was not paying off for him, so... Maybe feeling a little bit of the nerves right here. Because, I mean, again, this is, you know, they said it, right? There's a lot on the line. If he loses this, Rob is never going to let him off the hook.
Yeah, no kidding.
Rob will be talking endless hours of smack.
Hey,
Smack
that's
talk.
why I call him Hollywood RobTV. He is the talk of the town all the time. But with the talk of the town, we got the V-trigger activation. That is a lot of damage. Are we going to see a critical art just to do the major damage? No, we're just going to go with the EX bar. Totally fine. Smart option coming from Brian.
Oh, but then the wake up EX. Look at this Rob busting out of there. Brian not expecting that. If he had baited that out, probably would have been the end. But instead, gonna get caught by the crouching medium kick. And there it goes.
It's that medium kick. You know, again, like I mentioned, how Karin just has all these really good utilities that she can just throw out there, and then it's like, what do I do? Do I just use a reversal? But it's like she's that good.
Dude, it's you know, I mean, honestly, you know, it's crazy to me because, you know, previous to this, obviously there are exceptions with like Chun's crouching medium kick and third strike, etc., etc. But the one button hit confirm that Punk really started proliferating with that Karin really has spread into pretty much like all the, like I almost feel like you can't be a top Karin player unless you have that skill in there, and Rob definitely has picked that up as well. And it's crazy to me how much Punk has, you know, changed the expectations of a Karin player.
And I feel like she's just been so strong since season 1 too. And as of that, the crush counter combo into the corner and just one more hit to stun, and that is working for a perfect Rob too. You see him? Yeah. Yeah, let's go. All right. He about it. He about it.
I like it. I like seeing him pump himself up, pumping himself up here as Hollywood RobTV would do.
Yeah, he always pumping himself in the gym too. You know, that's why he's so swole.
Dude, one of those scenes was like a while ago, and Rob actually looked like thinner, you know?
Oh yeah, baby Rob.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and what a whip punish coming from RobTV, and of course out of the corner, that's really good. And then the V-trigger activation, it's gonna do a lot of damage, considering that critical art is on deck if Brian wants to use it, but he'll definitely use a bar because we did see this before.
Right, he doesn't want to spend it just yet. Okay, goes for the overhead setup, and there's that V reversal. I think it was Shine who was mentioning that. Oh no, he drops the combo! Oh, Brian!
Yes, sir. I won it.
Yes, sir.
Talking. Oh man. I see Brian's probably gonna try to like. He's like, "Where's the volume switch? Can I turn up my headsets a little bit? I need a. Are these noise canceling headsets headphones over here?"
And Brian's like, "Yo, shut up! I'm trying to focus here." But again, like I said, you know, Hollywood RobTV, he is so funny. Like, you know, he's always talking loud. He's a lovable person. And of course, seeing Brian F just switching with the Oro pick too. Like, we usually see him play a lot of Balrog, right? But he has been, you know, working with Oro so long where it's like looking really good.
Oh, okay. You know, we had a little bit of a little pause in there. I thought it might have been Brian trying to change characters, but no. And see, there it is again, that single hit confirmed, 17 frames. And in fact, it's become such a expectation of high-level players that, oh god.
Oh, goes for the back throw for the stun. And look at that. Of course, trying to also work for that perfect, but it doesn't matter. RobTV still golden as ever. Brian F still trying to formulate a plan, trying to think of what he needs to do.
Is Rob trying to pump up Brian F now? Come on, let's get some work here.
Hey, both of them are all like on the no neutral, so of course they know each other best.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, even as I was saying about like the one-hit cancel expectation, we've even seen that in some of the patch notes that characters will just get their window of cancellation extended from 16 to 17. But yeah, right now, Brian with some crucial drops, and here comes Rob. Oh no!
Goes for the shimmy, but really close to stun. Brian has feature activation, does activate it. We got all the rocks on deck. I remember that he was telling me that the Game Boys that are like RNG with the V-trigger does more damage, but unfortunately it is not here.
I wonder if whoever wins this for next season, do they get to be the official host and the other person has to be the co-host? Is that what's on the line here? Oh, the chip damage! But he just got it! Okay, he just got it, but it doesn't matter. Just jumping in there with the Rasenha. It's 3.
Dude, we literally hear him in our headsets and literally
Rob, oh man. Dude, we're going to see the analyst desk here, and you know, this is why I don't enter tournaments at events I commentate. Everybody knows how salty I get when I lose, and I will jump on the mic, and I'm just going to be like, let's see if maybe if this keeps going the way it's going, let's hope Brian can still provide some analysis, you know, without talking about how broken Karin is.
Yeah, you know, like, of course, it definitely takes some time because we did see that Brian kind of, like, pause there, get a little bit of breathing room and whatnot. And it's all fun and games because you can learn from your mistakes and see what you can apply better. So we are going, like, 3-0 coming from RobTV. Goes for the back throw to start out.
Yeah, let's see if Brian can get on the board here. Because at least you don't want to go. I know the first time they played in CPT, Rob basically 6-0'd Brian in winner's side and on loser's side, and in grand finals, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I feel like at this point in time, Brian might even just be playing for pride.
Oh, definitely. And of course, you know, you're just hearing like RobTV just shout next to him. But it is looking kind of grim coming from Brian. Ow!
Oh my
God! Yeah, you hear him?
Let me play. Yeah, of course, these guys do get to play offline on the optimized Arturo Sanchez trademark monitors here.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Refresh rates.
He's been great, helping us like be very optimal with our setups and of course helping with each other. But critical art on deck coming from Brian F, and then RobTV just kind of backing things out, just fishing for things that he could try to punish right there, but it doesn't work out.
All right.
Oh, there it is!
Whip punish again! This neutral! Why are they on a show called No Neutral? RobTV needs to change the name of the show to All Neutral because he is dominating this neutral game right now. Oh.
And of course, Brian is still alive in this. Tries to go for the neutral jump, but RobTV not taking the bait.
Yeah, and no Tengu Stone anymore. The comeback potential for Oro without the Tengu Stone, not particularly good. And so this is looking like a wash right now. This is looking like a wash right now.
Yeah, we're taking the trip to the laundromat because, yeah, it is a certified wash right now. But hey, we can't count Brian F just yet. We might see a Bullrock switch, like, you know, like, of course, like, just trying to think of, like, okay, maybe I want to go with my heart.
Right.
Go with Bullrock. And, of course, RobTV, Brian F, you know, they've played so many times. And, of course, being partners on No Neutral, like, they know each other best. So we'll see if he does switch or keep going with Oro.
I mean, again, the boxer didn't do so well before. I'm sure he spent a lot of time using Oro against a lot of the Karins around North America to practice. And sure enough, he's going to stick with the Oro. Come on, Brian, get a game on the board. Get a game on the board. Otherwise, you know, if I pass him in the halls, I'm going to have to just be like, what's up? You know, just kind of walk and not bother him.
Yo, and look at the life lead here, James. Like, super close to stun.
Dude, he has not been able to get him with that overhead. And Oro does have one of the unfortunate overheads on that. Actually, I don't even think that's an overhead.
No, it is not an overhead.
Yeah, never mind, actually. It's just a nice plus frame move.
Right, yeah, you definitely don't want to press a button there. That's why we've been seeing RobTV do V reversal all the time.
Rob dropping, but turning it into a reset. Gets the throw. Crush counter. Here we go. Let's go. Brian F.
I want Brian F to say something. He's like, yeah, I got that round. I got it.
That's right. Pump yourself up. Oh, gosh. Never mind. Actually, never mind.
Oh, yeah, a little shimmy of the grab. But RobTV coming here with the reactions. Brian F really close to stun. Oh, here we go. Stun depleting now.
Rob really trying to, you know, solidify his claim that he's not just the best in the Midwest, but one of the best in the United States.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Match point coming for RobTV. It's looking pretty close here, but Brian F gotta think of something quick here.
Come on. Oh no, this is not a good start, but too far away for the heavy punch to connect for Rob. So a little bit of luck for fortune right there for Brian F.
Again, of course, just starting phase 1, but the low forward catches him on the dash.
And there we go, the throw towards the corner now. Pressure situation. Did not check that forward dash using the double jump to bait
Oh, he
out.
got hops.
Yeah, but unfortunately can't punish the whiff that way. Okay, here we go. Crush counter side switch.
Yeah, that's really good for the side switch because Brian, he does not want to let RobTV out of his sights. But again, RobTV is so good with those V-reversal answers.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, I think it was Shine or Chrissy CH, one of those saying, like, Karin doesn't need to use her V trigger. So all of those bars are just there for V reversals, which is perfect for fighting Tengu Stone.
Oh no, that could have been a lot of damage.
Yeah,
but
that could have been it. So Brian, again, twice now, he's been kind of given a little extra life in this round. He just has to avoid not getting hit by that crouching medium kick.
Oh no, is that gonna be it? Especially in the corner? It's in the corner! RobTV!
I'm RobTV!
Yeah.
I'm here too. Anybody here want to money match? Let me know. I promise you. And I'm that nice, honest, and on the right.
He has his
I back up everything that I say. I'm that guy. Hating.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I have anything to say. I think Rob said it all
There. Yeah, he's literally the commentator for both of us. He said it all. He was there. He literally 5-0'd Brian F with his aura. We hear him.
Popping up. Oh, well, look, RobTV, like I said, you know, clearly at this point, the strongest in the Midwest. But, you know, there was a question on Twitter a while ago that was like, name your top 5 U.S. players. And in my list, RobTV was there. I mean, I saw it like first season of Street Fighter League, you know, on all of the tournaments, you could see it on the way that RobTV was playing. He was not going to be the kind of player that was going to stay at that kind of gatekeeper level. He was going to rise to the top. And I really feel like RobTV right now is one of the biggest threats that we have in Street Fighter 5 here for North America.
Yeah, it's crazy to see that like RobTV is just so consistent over so many years, especially in like the Street Fighter 5 community. Like everyone, like including me, you, and everyone else here, like we're scared of RobTV, but again, like he's a super awesome guy, lovable guy, and like I'm super glad that he's part of like such a strong scene, Midwest. Well, it has been fun, James. It has been super fun commentating both RobTV and Brian F's match, but looks like we're gonna hand it over to the analyst desk. We'll check you guys later.
Wow, it was a big 5-0. 5-0, Karin versus Honda. And not even just that, but not that many rounds for Brian F either. Thanks to the guys for commentating up there. Marine and James, nice work. Chris, let's talk about this match. How do you think it went?
Yeah, so I said Rob is the best player in the Midwest right now, and you know, what better way to prove it than just 5-0 Brian F. He was extremely dominant and played extraordinarily well. I mean, those whiff punishes, my God, like, just phenomenal play in neutral. And something I noticed is, like, after he won the first game was actually a little bit close. It looked like it might be a bit of a close set, but I think RobTV really started to smell maybe Brian's fear or just his lack of preparation, something. Maybe just the gap in skill, and he started to go in. He was becoming extremely aggressive, just dashing in, doing all sorts of stuff. He pulled out both of RobTV specials. He did the Rasenha on his wake up to do a throw bait. He did EX shoulder and a stand light kick reset. Not entirely sure why he does either of those things, but what I do know is that he's been doing them since the first day I ever met him. So those are his specialties. He pulled those out, played extremely aggressive, played extremely well. Phenomenal footsies. I mean, I can't deny any of what he was doing there. It was amazing. So good stuff to RobTV.
Yeah, I mean, what else there to say? It was an execution, right? Like, it was. There's no other nice way to put it.
That poor old man.
Yeah, I mean, but Brian F is a really talented player, right? Like, you didn't get to see it much there, but he is really talented. He plays multiple characters, and I thought that he was going to actually, you know, play. I thought he was going to play Oro, but I think on paper the best pick probably would have been G. I don't think he's been playing much G, but I think G definitely does the best against Karin out of all his characters, and I think Oro actually does the worst on paper. So I'm a little curious as to why he picked Oro. I think it's just more of a comfort thing. He's been playing mostly Oro, but I do think G was the best pick on paper. And I think he probably should have went with G, but you know,
Yeah, he told me a couple of days ago that he's basically only been playing Oro. That he's not even really playing Boxer or anybody else anymore. I'm being told that we're supposed to go to the replay. Is there any way that we can avoid giving RobTV even more shine?
Oh god.
Is there any way that we? No, we're contractually obligated. Okay, well, all right, we got to do it, I guess. Let's go to the Arby's meeting moment, unfortunately.
Arby's, we have the meats.
You know, a man like RobTV, he had to stream the execution live to over an audience of 40,000 people. And I wouldn't have had anything less from him. You know, you see just the fantastic play. And even though the first game looked incredibly close, like we can see here, very back and forth for Rob and Brian. As soon as Rob, you know, he smelled the meat was cooking, he had to put a little cheddar on there. The taste was present. And I don't think Brian was ready. I don't think Brian was ready for that kind of heat.
He said, keep the meat off the street, bro. Not on mines, all right? You wish you could, but you're not in my hood. The thing about Rob is that y'all talking about, you know, he's best in the Midwest. Top 5 in the U.S., he been smoking cats like that, all right? It don't matter where they from, he gonna smoke them. And I like the fact that he had game plans against his character. Not a lot of people lab on Oro. I'm gonna be real with you. He did, as we saw, the Rasenal get the fireball and things like that. The whip punch is coming through, and it was a gradual progression too. So once again, Rob getting that win. No offense to Brian, but I knew it was going to happen like that in the end.
Yeah, the work that he put in really was the meat and potatoes behind everything. It was very important that he was composed. He had the matchup down on lock, and you know, a little bit of character inexperience wasn't going to stop Mr. Hollywood. Okay, he read the screenplay. He read the screenplay.
You gotta say it right. We gotta say it right because he did win. Hollywood! RobTV.
Here's what I'm interested in too. How are you guys gonna handle walking out of here on break and seeing RobTV out there? What's your game plan? I'm curious about what your game plan is.
I mean, I'm already trained for this. I'm used to it. I'm immune. I'm good. Chris, you got some things to worry about, but if you need any tips, I'm here for you.
Yeah, I might need some tips because I might have said some things earlier that I don't think Rob's gonna appreciate. So hopefully,
well, I mean, that's
nervous, huh?
That's just something you got to deal with.
That might be something I have to deal with on my own.
I can't help you with that.
Yeah,
I'm worried for us. I'm worried for us.
Yeah,
we were talking about the West Coast, and I mean, with the Saints over here, I think we might get sandwiched. I'm kind of worried.
Yeah, if I didn't have to play nephew later, I might just like walk out of here.
We gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah, it's not safe here.
David, I'm sorry, you're stuck here for the rest of the day.
I am.
And
Yeah,
Rob's gonna be on the net.
He's gonna be here. He's gonna be right next to me at some point.
Ooh.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough one, definitely. Yeah. Anyway, look, congrats for real to RobTV for taking it. He is a very good player. Let's stop talking about him for a while. Your favorite Street Fighter characters are now available as Magic the Gathering cards at secretlair.wizards.com. We saw these yesterday morning. We got all sorts of characters. You can see some of them up there. Chun, Ryu, Ken, Zangief, Dalsim, Honda, Blanca, and etc. Please check them out again, secretlair.wizards.com.
And if you want to check out more Street Fighter 5 action on the streets themselves, we're going to have the Japan Open Tournament coming through on March 12th and 13th. It's a 1v1 tournament, and you can see some of the sick players already seated right there. Mago, Higuchi, Daigo, and Kawano, and your boy's going to be on the mic, so get with it, all right?
We've also got some news about a dream collab between Street Fighter V and the mobile game King of Fighters All-Star. The collaboration will go live around the end of March. It's got all sorts of popular characters from Street Fighter V joining King of Fighters All-Star as special fighters. Look forward to an exclusive dungeon where Street Fighter V characters fight against KOF characters, exclusive battle cards, in-game events, and so much more. Ryu, Chun, and again, many more characters are being prepped for the collab content. Additional info will be revealed through the official KOF social media. Look forward to that. Coming up next, we're going to have a match that I am very much looking forward to. It was the one that I identified as the one that I was most looking forward to for today. That's going to be Mr. Crimson versus Kills You.